Hello, everyone, and welcome. For this video, I'm actually going to take this rough drawing that I've done of a awesome looking dragon, and I'm going to transfer it to Photoshop and make it into a digital painting. It's going to be a lot more fixes and differences. So let's see what I can do with this. So right here, I have my photograph that I just showed you, and I have it in Photoshop. And I'm just I have it nice organized so I could start drawing over it. Now, right here, I actually start another layer, and I have the opacity down. Starting another layer, and I'm drawing it, and I'm just using a brown color. There's a particular reason for that, but I'm actually going to explain it probably a little bit later on. But as you can see, I just went over it with just a dark brown. Just going over the drawing, because I didn't want to start completely drawing from scratch. I wanted to trace over it. Still as my drawing, not plagiarizing somebody else's drawing. In this stage, I'm since I've just figured out on the drawing, I'm just figuring out where to add, fix. It's good to to know what where the drawing is going and how it's being fixed. And I'm just figuring out a way. I take out my pencil drawing to see, okay, what else could be added here? Now here I'm looking back here. But now I'm actually taking the layer of the drawing and I'm actually changing its scale because I didn't want to cover up the entire paper. And I kind of wanted to make it smaller and just add more background to it. I went to the edited and changed its scale to make the platform longer and give it a ground to give it where it could be standing on. Now let's see. Now I'm going back over the warping again, but this time I'm changing the rotation. It's like, I don't see, I don't see exactly where it's kind of warp sided, but now I'm making it more straight, and that's where it kind of helps right here. See, I like to get the drawing where it is. That way, it doesn't become more of a problem later on when I'm later on coloring. Now for the next layer, I'm adding the base colors. Right here, where the dragon is lying on, I'm making it pretty like a deep gray. And some gray all around it. Just color it, all the entire base color gray, just to get familiar. Like to cover it up. And I see some color that went outside the lines. It's like, oh, back into old kindergarten. It's like, never color outside the lines, but hey, not perfect. But I know I gotta erase it. I'm erasing the excess from the outside. And this could be a little, and usually this part does take a bit of time. Looking for the out zooming out. I do zoom out sometimes just to see. And I'm adding another, not actually another layer, but I'm kind of having more dimension and value where I want my light to be, where the shadows are. Yeah, now I get to zoom in more. Exactly where I want things to be. This is a tricky part. It's just figuring out where everything is. Where I want my lights, where I want my shadows, what color should be what, and how that color should be there. Just patching up any whiteness left. This next step, I'm adding some green. I decided I want my dragon to be green, since it's I don't know. I just wanted my dragon to be green. That's all. There's no particular reason. I wanted it to be green. Because just to make a minor spoiler, but later on I'm gonna have the wings have like a reddish color to them, so that's contrast. But now I'm doing green and making another flat color on it, green. Of course, I'll have more diversity. I have its horns gray, a lighter gray. It's still in the green family. I'm still staying in the green family. I'm not going, even when I'm changing color, I'm not going far off with the other colors. I'm kind of staying in that range. I'll go extreme when later on, when I probably won't get to the wings and fur to get some complementary going on. Now here's my tail, the dragon's tail. I sort of made like an orangey red just to complement the dragon's body, since his body's green, like a yellowish green. I wanted more of a red or orange just to make it different. So it's not all samey. Even later on, as I add some shadows, the dragons to wake it. Okay, where's the light? Where's the dark at? And now in the background, I have some. I'm going to paint the sky finally. Typical blue, I know, but yeah, blue is good. Blue is good. Here it goes. Just covering up the whole sky. I want it to be all covered up with blue. And of course, there'll be more fixes up later on with it. Now I got my whole canvas covered completely. There's not a sign of whiteness anywhere. Yeah, I'm using a dodge tool, which softens up the colors. That way, I from the dot create a sense of atmosphere. And I'm even adding a more of a background to the ground, so it looks like there's more land in the background. Added another platforms in the background. Now I'm gonna mess with the yellows a little bit, more like a grayish yellow though. Make some clouds. Clouds were a bit tricky, but I think I got some of them. I noticed they're a bit too grayish, so I put them lighter. And I'm even erasing some of it. So it looks like there's different odd looking shapes in it. You know how clouds always have odd shapes. They're never the same. They're never very geometric looking. And for the main part, like I said, with the other parts of with the tail, I'm putting that orange as well. Back fur. Keep it cohesive. Just following along with the line. No longer covering up the brown that I had in the beginning when I drew it. And following along. And add some shading, made some shadows. Used a darker orange. Now it's like a more of a orangey brown. Give it some texture. Make it look like fur. Like this strands of hair rather than just one flat color. You the other parts of the dragon's hair as well, and the sides. And I'm also this part right here, kind of just fat, fixing up some of the line. Well, I want to get rid of that brown line drawing that I've had. Going over that. A little bit of a tricky part right here. You know what? Got some highlights here. It's a really strong highlights. Just paying attention to where everything is going. part where I want where the light hitting the dragon. Yeah, it's looking good, pretty good so far. Looking good. But now, just doing some touches. Right here, I'm fixing the little edges. I realized I never actually put in some proper thumbs for the dragon. Now, like, it kind of has like bat wings, so fixing that up, painting that in. And a little shadows, some texture around the dragon. Dragon's thumb, the wings, see it come together. All patching up. Any little brown spots. See, this is a lot of it is the tedious work here. For the next thumb as well. See, a lot of it's right here is just polishing. It's not so much any elaborate work. It's just such. This is like the little bit left. And right here, I'm adding a little bit, some texture here for the dragon. Notice, you can't have a dragon without scales. I'm adding some textural scales on the dragon's body to give it that reptilian kind of characteristic. Little shapes, like half oval shapes, scales. They're coming out nice. You like the dark green and the shadows in, make it nice and scaly. See how it's coming more of a text, coming more to life because of the textures, for the tail as well. Right here, now I'm actually going to the actual wings. I'm making sort of like a violet red, but I still want it to be like that dim grayness to it. I don't want it to actually go away, but I have like a warmerness to it. And with it on both wings, give it nice, like a soft light color on it. Make it nicer. But of course, it's off the lines again, so I gotta erase that off. Be sure if it's what I don't want on there. Okay, so this is what I came up with, and I just added a bit more detail, something in the foreground, background, details around the rocks. And I actually, so far, what I've came up with, I really like it. Took a few days break to see anything else, and I pretty fixed up everything I thought. There is one little thing I thought was pretty interesting, though, but I wasn't too sure if I like this way or if I like this. You like this way, or do you like this? How about this? Definitely leave a comment which one, if you like the blue sky one, or if you like the greenish sky one. And you'll definitely see this on Instagram, so definitely look at my Instagram as well. So I will definitely post both versions, so you'll definitely see it. And I hope after this, hopefully after this video, you learn something. And please let me know if you got anything out of this. And I hope to see you next time.